Hi, I'm Barbara. Welcome back to my Kentucky native garden. It's hard to believe I started creating my native garden here in South Central Kentucky over 10 years ago, and I love sharing it with other nature lovers. These are some of the flowers that bloomed in my garden this spring. Wild ginger likes shade and moisture, as does this sensitive fern and Christmas fern, and they all make great ground covers and fillers. Creeping phlox is one of the first flowers to bloom and stays green year-round, so it's also a perfect ground cover for my front slope. Butterflies are drawn to the blooms. These are columbine cultivars. The straight native species is red and yellow. I just learned that they can hybridize, and I could lose my native species, so I will be removing the seed heads from the cultivars before they burst. Columbines are a favorite of hummingbirds, and they perform better in rocky soil that is not too rich. Fleabane is considered a weed by many people, but I allow it to bloom as long as it isn't interfering with other plants. It provides early food for the pollinators. Blue wild indigo is a lovely early spring shrub, but they do take patience. They can take several years to bloom. I planted one of these 9 years ago, and it bloomed the second year. I planted another one the following year, and it finally bloomed this year, 8 years later. They like sun, so a sunnier spot would have probably produced earlier blooms. Native bees especially like this plant. Green and gold is an excellent, fast-growing, year-round ground cover for a shady spot. It forms a thick mat and blooms in the spring. It can be aggressive. Golden Alexander is the host plant for swallowtail butterflies and provides a sweet early spring bloom. Purple Phacelia is an early spring beauty that grows wild in the moist woods around our house. Wild geranium likes a shady, moist spot in the garden. Fragrant sumac is a great shrub to control erosion on a steep hill like this one. It isn't very showy. It gets tiny white flowers followed by red seeds. Dwarf crested iris will spread easily in a moist wooded location. The foliage remains all summer. I'm so excited to see this copper iris blooming. I have several irises in my yard, but this and the dwarf crested iris are the only native ones. I got this one 2 years ago from a friend of mine, and this is the first time it has bloomed. Virginia sweetspire is a beautiful fragrant shrub that mounds and spreads. This one is just beginning to bloom. It likes partial shade. Celandine poppy is one of my favorite early spring flowers. When the seeds burst, they will spread all over the garden, though it's not aggressive. It likes moisture and shade. Thanks for visiting my Kentucky native garden. We'll be back later when the summer flowers are in bloom. Please take a second to subscribe and press the like button if you enjoyed what you saw.